Hey, what do you say, fellow baseball way of lifers? Happy Sunday. Sorry the weekend's coming to a close, but I think we're only a week or so away from spring training games, so look on the positive side. Today I want to discuss one of the hot topics that an individual brought up, saying that Babe Ruth was not one of the top 20 to 25 players in baseball due to evolution, and he basically played against high school pitchers. Now, normally I'm not one to respond to something like this, but I just had to, and I just thought the entire concept was ridiculous on his part. To me, and others may disagree, if Babe's not number one, he is in the top three, four, but to me, he will always be number one. He is the Wayne Gretzky of Major League Baseball. He basically introduced the long ball to the game, which made the game so popular at that point. It just took off. The Yankees became a national name. Uh, and to say that Babe is not one of the greatest players in baseball history is just ludicrous to me. Not only was he a great pitcher, he probably would have had a Hall of Fame career, perhaps as a pitcher, but he was one of the most feared sluggers of our time. The only slugger I can actually compare him to, and you steroid people don't get upset, is Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds was in the class of Babe Ruth. Now, his power numbers may have increased because of his steroid usage, but as far as comparing anyone to Ruth, that's the closest I can come to. The young man, or older man, I don't even know the gentleman, I just know him from the group, was stating that there were no quality pitchers when Babe played. And he said, "Can you name 10 of them?" And I named 10 of them. And he had no answer for me. He said their ERAs were over 3. Well, to me, ERAs are relative to the era you played in. And back then, Babe introduced the lively ball, so ERAs did go up. He was saying he couldn't even say that Babe was better than Albert Pujols. Now, that's kind of calling the pot or the kettle black. But I just didn't get that concept either, because in the last 10 years, pitching has been horrendous. Starters don't pitch more than 200 innings. The ERAs have skyrocketed. If you saw some of the team ERAs from last season when there was a 6-game schedule, I think we had a few team ERAs over 6, which is unheard of. Back when I started following baseball, if you had a team ERA of 4, that was out of control. Now it's the norm. So to me, that didn't stand any test to his theory. And when I asked him to name 10 top pitchers in Albert Pujols' era, 2 of the 10 that he came up with were David Cohn and Barry Zito. No disrespect to either one, but Barry Zito had a career ERA over 4. So if you're going to throw a pitcher from the 1920s and 30s who had an ERA of 3 plus, there's no way you can even mention Barry Zito. And David Cohn was a very, very good pitcher, and he had Hall of Fame stuff, but he just didn't have a Hall of Fame career. And I get it. People are always going to say today's modern ball player is better. Yes, he's physically more better, more well trained. They have physical regimens that they go through to keep their body in shape, and dietary ways that they follow, which in Babe they did. After the game was over, it was all day games. They went and got bombed, shit faced, and showed up at the ballpark hungover. Even happened when Mickey Mantle played. So, yes, things change. But I always like to compare the player to the era he played in. And Babe was head and shoulders above everybody else from his era. When you could be that far above everybody else in your era, I think you would be and should be considered as the greatest of all time. When you look at the Babe years, the only people I can say came close to him were Jimmy Fox and Willie Mays. Wishful thinking. Lou Gehrig. But there's no way they were as good as Babe. Babe paved the way for all of them. In other eras, you had Mays and Aaron, and you had Clemente, and blah, 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 blah. Today, you have Trout, you have Betts. But Babe was the man in his time. And to me, he will always be the greatest of all time. Others may disagree. You may disagree. You may agree. That's the beauty of baseball. We all have our opinion. But today, it got a little out of control because this man kept hammering. He put up like 5 posts and would not listen to anyone's opinion otherwise about how Babe was not a great player. I actually had to take one down where he was out of control saying Aaron Judge was better than Babe Ruth. I just couldn't let the nonsense go on any further. But that's the beauty of baseball way of life. Everyone has their opinions, and we're going to see some wacky stuff sometime. Not everybody's right, not everybody's wrong, but this time I did speak up because I felt, okay, this is taking it a little too far. And the beauty of the group is we just want to have civil discussions and not try and hammer thoughts down people's heads and disagree if they tend to disagree with your opinion. That's the beauty of the group, and I hope we all follow that master plan where we're respectful of everyone. We can disagree, but just be respectful. Because you guys are the group, and you're the best. Until we speak again, have a great night.